The Ryback Show starts now. Welcome to the Ryback Show, Sunday Live. I am the big guy, Ryback. Thank you for joining me, everybody. Over on TikTok, the big guy, Ryback 22, about to hit 2 million followers over there. Ryback TV, we're about to hit 370,000 very soon, within this week, I would say, very easily on there. So thank you for all joining me and being part of this show. We're available on all podcast platforms as well. If you just want to listen with that, they are always released shortly after we go live here on Ryback TV and Twitch at Ryback Rules, Periscope at Ryback, at Twitter over there, and of course TikTok, the big guy Ryback 22. This show is brought to you by Feed Me More Nutrition, premium supplements sweetened with stevia and monk fruit, no artificial sweeteners or colors, vegan friendly for men and women, available on feedmemore.com. You can save 20% from listening to this show, watching this show with discount code Ryback Show 20, Ryback Show 20, to save on the best supplements on the planet. Guys, I thank you all. We're also on Amazon as well. We're making a move to really do some big numbers on Amazon with the new people that are taking over the line and redoing the product pages and really going hard on the marketing side of things. On that, I'm anticipating massive growth for Feed Me More Nutrition in the upcoming years with everything going on and the moves that we're making right now, and very excited. So your love and support is greatly appreciated. And started with 3 supplements. We're up to 13. The 2 suites about to be out here very shortly. The blood sugar support, and just delivering hit after hit. And it's really grateful for all of you. You've helped me tremendously with this. As you know, the WWE stuff is something I never imagined in a million years it would be what it is. But I've not let it stop me. I just continue to move and find ways to stay hungry and not let them ruin my life. And I've won everything. We're going to win the Ryback trademark, and I'm going to get my social media situation fixed, no doubt. But here we are. And in the meantime, we're going to keep cranking away and continuing to march forward. I've had an amazing week on the scar tissue side of things, doing ultrasound daily. We've been doing ultrasound on my scapula every single day, and that was something I was not doing. I was only doing it every other day with the shock wave on the front of the shoulder and the side. I'm actually doing the whole scapular region. That tissue has just ripped completely now. And when I say ripped, like with the softball stretched, and that was restricting my external motion. However, that scapula, it needs to be able to move the various angles that it moves, and it couldn't because it was glued down. And I just got done doing another 30 minutes on the softball here after my conditioning and sauna day, which I got to go shower right after this. I'm still wearing my gym clothes, and absolutely lost probably 10 pounds of water of sweat between the Stairmaster and the Stairmaster and the sauna. But here we are, and wanted to hop on here and do about an hour and 15 if we can today. And what do we got going on? Movie air, as always, super chats are brought up on the screen on Ryback TV as well. Otherwise, I will try to get to the questions as I see them. Question about Feed Me More GTS. I'm always tossing and turning at night and scratching as well. Does the GTS help you out throughout that? Is it safe to take every day? Yeah, all natural ingredients. I take it. I take days off of it still. On days that I'm just tired on my own, and I know I can go to bed without it. But I take it more often than not on that, and everything in it is all natural. It's non-addictive. I don't. For me personally too, I was like, oh my God, I got to take this, otherwise I can't sleep. If I have a good pattern and I haven't had caffeine too late in the day, don't even think twice about it. And but it's a great tool to have. I can't help you on the scratching side of things. I don't know what that could be from on that. I have no idea. There's so many different things that could be, but I do believe that you will be very happy with the GTS. And I say take it for a week and give yourself every single night. Take it for a week and try to get into a good routine. Also, you got to watch out. A lot of people don't realize this. If you consume caffeine too late in the day, it can really destroy your efforts to sleep. There's no reason why, if you work and live a a productive day, have a productive day, that you should be able to go to bed and be tired at night. But a lot of times people are consuming stimulants of some sorts, and typically that is caffeine. Like I got a decaf coffee here. I used to do a caffeine sometimes, and I would always go back and forth with the decaf and the regular. I cut my caffeine down a bit more, where I do my wake up limited energy, then my cup of Starbucks. I love to go to Starbucks, get a large venti, whatever you want to call it, just large black with a couple ice cubes in the afternoon. And that's my last dose of caffeine essentially in the day. And I take my Shell Shock shortly thereafter with that, which has minimal amount of caffeine in it. But the Starbucks has a more, and then I do the decaf at night, which is probably like a super small, negligible amount, 8 to 10 milligrams, which isn't going to be enough to cause that disturbance in the nighttime sleeping. And I go to sleep even easier than I did with that. So that's something you got to look at as well. I'm telling you, I firmly believe this. There's not another company out there giving you the value that we're giving you with ingredients that work. My supplements cost 3 to 5 times more than pretty much every other company out there, and even more than that than a lot of the companies too. But on average, 3 to 5 times with that. We are giving you tremendous value. And if you just look at the ingredients and the dosages, you can see, go, whoa, this company uses a lot more than these other companies. Oh, and they don't use artificial sweeteners or colors, which are more expensive to not use them. So, and vegan-friendly capsules, more expensive with that. So, but check it out, man. I'm telling you, there's a money-back guarantee policy on the website for 14 days with that, and the stuff works, man. I mean, can I promise you it's going to work for everybody? No. But I really believe if you give a fair shake and don't consume caffeine too late at night, that I think you're going to be very happy. I've got friends that I've turned on to my products, and people I know that everyone seems to have sleep issues. I go, just try it. And I get messages, oh my God, I wish I had this 5 years ago. It's like, I get enough feedback that I'm confident in suggesting. And I know it personally works because I created it. Good to see all of you. We're going to shell shock Alejandro right out of here. You're done, Alejandro. Get out of here. Jeez. Thank you, Em. Just wanted to tell you that you're a huge inspiration to me and many other people. Thank you very much, buddy. I see the messages, and that's why I just try, like, again, I do a recap on my life on this because I get a lot of DMs, and there's still so many people that don't know what's going on. And so it's important to just kind of keep everybody up to date that want to know. And then I try to answer questions on things that have helped me and for the people out there. And I get enough DMs to know and emails that I feel very good doing this. So thank you. Yeah, sleep is an absolutely beautiful thing, and it's so essential. 6 to 8 hours as much as possible. There's always going to be times, and I operated on very little sleep at different points of my life and career, and it's not healthy. But there are times where we do have to function on less sleep. But I do believe if we make it a priority and try to do things and not consume caffeine too late, and don't waste hours. A lot of times we waste hours at night just by staying up. Where if we go to bed and we'll wake up earlier, we will have more productive days. That's been proven with that. And it's just it's just a normal human thing. And there's nothing wrong with it. But if we're trying to do other things and we want to maximize our time, we got to look at our habits. And there's no right or wrong. There's going to be times where we want to do it. And then there's going to be other times where, look, if I got to get up early, I got to get this stuff done. I'm going to go to bed at 9, 10 o'clock. I'm not going to stay up till 12 or 1 o'clock. Right. And then we prioritize our sleep. And it's just basic stuff of knowing what we want and need and prioritizing that, really, really being consistent with it, that allows us to be more successful. Thank you, Booyas to Babos. It makes me very happy you put your fans over everything. You've got a heart of gold, big guy. I always defend my dude. Thank you, buddy. No, that's why I think I laugh when I see the opposite of, you know what I mean? Not to say that I can't get upset or do things like, of course I can, but there's such a drastic. That's why I put the stuff out there too, so people goes, wait a second, I know that's not true with that. So if there's anybody that's versed in Wikipedia, by the way, I had got a notification. I have no doubt this was probably the person that did it. I had to block them. That somebody, my Wikipedia page, I'd never have gone and actually read my Wikipedia page all the way through. Holy hell. If anybody is with that, I know because you have to do the wiki text, right? With the coding. If there's anybody that's versed in it, if you can go clean up, first of all, somebody put something ridiculous on the last line of it that, Ryback, in order to make money before he made it in wrestling, performed oral sex on UNLV athletes. And they sent that on Twitter, and that's literally on there now. But I go, Jesus Christ. I'm not gonna lie, I laugh pretty good at it, but it's ridiculous that anybody can go and put this stuff on there. If somebody can go remove that, please. And then also, you meet a woman or something, and then like they go look you up too online, and they're like, I'm gonna go look at that Wikipedia page shows up, and it's I don't want to have to explain. Like, no, they're just stupid fans that go on there and put like the most ridiculous things. But also the page is very negative. It talks, it completely, it says, I never got over. I was a failed Goldberg clone. And I'm like, who puts this stuff in there? That's not it's not a Wikipedia. It's literally like WWE went in there, so people go look him up. This is the impression they have of him. All the way through it, it's just negative. I go, Jesus Christ. So if there's anybody versed in Wikipedia that can go in there, literally eliminate all the negative BS, the lies, everything all throughout it, I would greatly appreciate it. If not, whatever. But it's just absolute horseshit on some of that stuff. Yeah, and I messaged Wikipedia and never got anything back. So we'll see. I'll try to get a hold of them. Twitter's blocked me on Instagram, by the way. All I did was message Twitter on if they can have a conversation with me about my account. I've been messaging them for years, asking, please, can I have a conversation? I just want to talk to somebody. I found out the other day they blocked my Instagram account. I'm telling you, there's something so shady going on that you can't even have, let's just say Twitter's not doing anything to my account, which I already know is not true. But let's give them the benefit of the doubt that the Twitter account's operating at 100%, right? Why wouldn't they be able to have a conversation? Because I'll tell you why they can't, because they know I'm going to ask, isn't normal impressions, average impressions between 10% is kind of the across the board on social media on when they switched everything to marketing, 10% is the impression rate. But for Twitter, anywhere from 15 to 20 could be pretty normal for most people on there. And if something takes off, even better with that. I've never even had that since I left WWE, even though there's been stuff that's done okay. Nowhere, I'll be lucky if something gets to 4 or 5%. It has to be, and that's where dirt sheets have to pick it up. And it's other people finding it through websites. It's not through the Twitter. But I go, why can't they just have a conversation? It's because they know that I have these numbers and these analytics, and they don't add up. And it's like, wait a second, why am I on a 0.5% impression? So not going to stop. I've got a few other contacts on there that we're trying. One guy has his messages, DMs. He opened them up to me. He hasn't blocked me. And I've asked him, I go, look, I don't care if you message me back. I just want the account fixed. I want this over with. What's going on there? Like, you got to understand, anything I do with that is going to restrict what I do. And they're doing it. It's not just me. A lot of people don't understand. Tyrus, I could tell you, Tyrus, his account is suppressed. Aaron Stevens, Damian Sandow, Vince Russo's been suppressed since all his stuff happened. There's quite a bit. And if you look, and I know they did it to Abraham Washington, Michael Tarver, all these guys, and they realize their social media, they can't do anything, no matter what they're doing. It's like, and I picked up on this a while back. That's not like, these guys are doing things with their lives. They've got enough of a following. How is it? Now I understand it because it happened to me. It's your own followers don't even see your stuff, which doesn't allow your stuff to take off, which then nobody new can discover you. So it actually hurts you because it's a WWE curse of what they're doing because they're partners with Twitter because they want everyone to be reliant on the business and they want them to go back and they don't want anyone to be successful out of it. I'm telling you, I've told you guys 100% of the truth every single time. This is going to be a big deal at some point in the future. I'm telling you, it's gonna come out. Everything gets exposed. There's going to be no way that I plan on. I hope it's me that gets to expose it because it is criminal what they are doing. Twitter is good for brand promotion. You got to understand if you're getting things that are you don't understand marketing and the percentage. I can go back and pull my analytics. We have a 2% conversion rate from Twitter clicks. So don't tell me Twitter's not good for marketing. Now, if only 4,000 people are seeing my tweets compared to 400,000, 300,000, 500,000, millions over multiple tweets, that's a massive difference in revenue from organic reach, my friend. So there's a reason why I'm very passionate about this, and not on top of them, just my business, on my branding and everything I'm doing in my life. Limits my shows, limits the promotion of my shows, limits when I go live on here. You guys, you got to understand, man. I know a lot of you don't understand this. I know, and I can tell by some of the message, and I know there's others that do. You just don't understand what's going on to the depth that's going on. We're going to shell shock NDL out of here. Thank you for playing, buddy, but not today, pal. I did not hear about Twitch getting hacked and info about people, what they're getting paid. Dominic, I have no idea what you're talking about, but I guess thank you, buddy. That message gave me a bit of a headache, though. I'm not going to lie. Boomer with the question of the day. Who would win, a lion-sized Goldberg versus coyote-sized Batista? This may be one of the more difficult ones that you've given me, Boomer. Are we talking Goldberg now and Batista now? Or are we talking in their primes? That makes a little bit of a difference, I feel like. I did not see the boxing match. I just saw highlights of it. I found out about it the other day. I go, oh, that fight's coming up. I bought the other one, and I thought Fury was going to win, and I've heard it was an absolutely incredible fight. And from the clips I saw, but I just didn't. For whatever, I order most of the pay-per-views and stuff, and I just go, I'll just wait and see what happens. And I'm actually glad I didn't still, even though it was an amazing fight. I've gotten so many of these pay-per-views and the boxing matches and whatnot. And there was nothing else on the card that I didn't even know what the rest of the card was. So I passed on it. Thank you very much. I enjoy doing the ASMR videos. What are my thoughts on Ricky Starks? I like Ricky a lot. I'm very happy for him. He was great when we did the bullying stuff, and then I saw him years ago here in the gym I go to. He was randomly up here, which I don't know what he was doing because I'm way out of the way of like where people usually stay in Vegas. And he was in the gym, and I don't know if he was here for a wrestling show, and I don't know why he was at that gym, but he was. And we like caught me off guard, and we just had a conversation. And that was well before any of the AEW stuff. And I'm happy for him, and he's really coming to his own. What else do we got going on? Did I miss a super chat? I take the organic moringa capsules personally. Adam, yes, I still do fan mail. I actually got a stack of it sitting in there that I got to probably get to this week on that. I don't do the videos as much on it, but I'll probably knock that because that takes a little longer for me. I've just been so busy with my shoulder, which is why I haven't been recording the show as much. I'm very getting so close. I got to work on this shoulder. I'm very obsessed with this shoulder right now and with everything going on because we're making such progress. I don't even know how many hours of my day is devoted to that, and then my training on top of that is very intense. And then obviously everything with Feed Me More Nutrition. I get up super early every day to make sure I get everything I need to get out of the way with that. But it's just work all day long from one thing to the next. And I have my breaks in there. And that's one of the good things about working for yourself. But like it's, even doing the show's just not like an hour. There's a bit of a setup process and a bit of a finishing process that start to finish is easily an hour and a half. Which, that's a good little chunk of time on top of everything else. So, but I enjoy it. But it's just managing, and right now the softball is number one priority with everything. I played soccer when I was a kid for many, many years. The Las Vegas Sharks. We were the number one team. I don't know. I think they're at my dad's house, or no, maybe they're in my storage shed in a big case. I've got so many first place trophies from soccer growing up. I'm not a fan of it though. I stopped playing because I thought it was boring. Even though we were really good, I was our goalie, and they very rarely scored against us. And I was able to kick the ball all the way across the field, and which is why I kicked in high school as well. I was our starting kicker with that. The big guys always had a pretty decent leg, and but I just didn't enjoy it like I did baseball and football. Have I tried the Impossible Chicken Nuggets? I have. They're very, very good. Toss those bad boys in some buffalo sauce with some vegan ranch, and you got yourself a nice little snack. If you're trying to get bigger, you got to consume more calories, quality calories, and create you got to, and I'll recommend training in the 4 to 6 rep range to build dense, thick muscle and to improve your strength over time. Little Johnny Henry, we're gonna just block you, buddy. I don't know what the deal with the caps are. I saw Heath is back, and on his post, and I'm very happy for Heath. He went through a hell of a time. His injury was, I thought we had identical injuries. They were very similar on the core muscle tears, but he had something more serious with his groin muscles. And because I came back after, was it like 9 weeks, or was it even 9 weeks? No, it was a short. I was back really quick. And I remember I was back, and I was back way sooner than I should have been. And I went right on the UK tour. And I remember I was black and blue all the way, my legs, everything. My balls were black and blue, everything. And I remember like this is dangerous, whatever. I shouldn't be wrestling. And but I did, and I ended up finally getting better. I remember wrestling. I remember I was in Boston doing a live event match, and in the match, the scar tissue in my groin ripped. I thought I tore it, and I freaked out. But it was just the scar tissue. It ripped for a matter of like 3 or 4 months randomly in matches, and it was annoying because it would just happen on random movements. But Heath, man, he People, not a lot of people. That's like a soccer injury. A lot of soccer players will get it. It is out of everything I've ever had. That was probably the most painful outside of my back. But as far as wrestling through the injury, it was very painful. And it was very painful rehab. I love Roman Reigns. Roman's always been a great guy. I get that a lot on I'd be the perfect role for Thanos. Hey, Ryback, with so much negativity nowadays, what are the best ways to keep a positive mindset? Live in the real world as much as possible. We have to understand the negativity and the hate's not going to go away. There's billions of people on this planet. They're absolutely miserable. It's not our job to fix them. I do this to help people and to put it out there at a mass level. More than I don't have time to answer DMs and emails, and I've tried doing that, and it's horrible. And one of the bad things about it is people then just send endless messages, and I'll never get anything done. So I had to quit ever answering anything, and that's why I try to. Come to the show. I'll try to answer your questions. And if I don't answer at one show, if you keep showing up, there's a good chance you're going to get your question or questions answered over time. In super chats, I always answer them on that, which is why we do that as well. And it makes the show money, but it allows me for the questions that people really want to get answered that I can get to them with that. The key is not, we got to live in the real world as much as possible. Don't get caught up in too much in the comments and in that, and practice habits. Like if you do experience something that makes you mad or angry, don't respond. Don't consume your time on something that it's not going to achieve anything. Instead, try to switch that bad feeling to a good feeling. Find either a post that makes you feel good and leave a positive comment to get you back on the right track, or put your own positive post. I do it all the time. Oftentimes when I put out something, not every time, but I'll put out a positive message. It's not because I'm just trying to shove positivity down people's throats. I'm practicing for me that I'll get a shit message from somebody or see something that makes me angry. And instead I block, and then I go, that's not going to ruin my day. And I put something good out. I instantly feel good about it, and the situation's over. So it's learning to control the moments and not go, like, we're all going to experience anger and happiness and different things. I just got my day where I know the things that are like going to make me happy, and I do the work in my real life that gives me confidence and a self-esteem to where like nothing of the bad's ever going to like make me ever feel like a loser or bad. And that's where like living in the real world as much as possible, having relationships with people and dealing with people in the real world. And it's a much different experience than if you just get caught up in this internet world with that. Even though there's all this good on the internet world, the internet world is everybody's swimming in the same pool, right? Unless we block them and then we kick them out of the pool. But for the most part, everyone's swimming in the same pool from top to bottom. So everyone has access to everyone. That's not necessarily a good thing when you're dealing with a lot of people that they just don't have the mindsets, and they're never going to have them. Some people will figure it out, but I've read thousands of books, listened to thousands of books of self-development and work and things that many people will never read. So how are they going to understand, and it's not my job to then argue with them and convince them of something, or to I block and just keep going on. Either you catch up or you don't. And it's just, I know what works for me. And it's not to say that's what's going to work for everybody, but there's other two things, because I'm not going to stop my time to go and then imagine if I took time for every person, for every negative comment or bad thing, and I'm going to change their mind. I'm going to talk to them for 3 hours, and then I change their mind, and then I go right back on, and then there's another one. I've not accomplished anything in that time. I literally will get nothing out of that. It doesn't matter. No, there's nothing that is beneficial other than it wastes time. And then I don't feel good. Now all of a sudden I feel worse because I just didn't use that time that I needed to use. That makes me happy doing the things that I know I need to be doing, right? With that. So, and again, I think it's just focusing on going all in on the happiness and the love and on that end and the positivity. And you're going to have guys like Gary Vaynerchuk that will say love and empathy, love and empathy, love and empathy. My thing is this: eliminate wasting the time. There's that's cool in certain situations, but you cannot reason with pure evil and hate. right? If somebody breaks into your home and you're in your kitchen and your family's sitting in the living room and they're going to come in and just kill everybody, including yourself, do you think love and empathy is going to fix that situation? So I call BS on that mindset overall on that. I say block and continue to go well on the things that make us happy. Keep them out of our lives. I'm not trying to give love and empathy to a guy that's going to go murder my family, to a guy that wants to spread hate and negativity, a guy that doesn't use logic and common sense. I block that. That's not my job to fix that brain. Now, if I have to encounter that brain in real life in another situation, then cool. But on my social media, I'm not going to encounter that brain, and I don't care to fix that mindset because my time is too valuable. And that's my mindset on it. And I just go all in on it. If you get something bad, block, put something that makes you feel good out, and keep going and live in the real world as much as possible. And I really think that a lot of the hate and negativity is because people don't have enough stuff going on in their lives. I tell you, if everybody had $1 billion hit their bank account, do you think there's going to be a lot of upset people? Imagine how good you would feel if you had $1 billion hit your bank account. You looked at you wouldn't give a damn about, but so you got to try to have that feeling of feeling good and understand what it is and see what these other people don't have, and just nope, I'm not gonna waste my time. I'm not gonna sit in chat rooms, and I'm not gonna, it's like if I don't like the environment I'm in person on that, I'm gonna get up and leave that wherever I am at that I don't like. Outside of if you work with a place and it's like you're stuck in a situation, you're a young kid at home in a very negative, toxic, there's still things you could do. Wear headphones, listen to audiobooks, listen to positive things on YouTube, positive, successful, healthy-minded people to counteract that negative household that you're in. Stay out of find your own safe spots within the house. Make sure you find relationships with people outside of the house that are healthier. Have a friend, if they have a family that's very positive, spend time there if you can. There's always things we could do, right? But we got to be awake to the situation and self-aware, and we just got to, everyone's going through their own fight in a different round, man. Every single one of us. And that's why I just shared the things that have helped me. And honestly, reading in self-development and knowledge, just trying to learn and keep an open mind. I don't know everything. I just share with you the things that have worked for me on different things. And that's why you pick one thing from me, pick one thing from Gary, pick one thing from Grant Cardone, pick a few things from somebody else, whoever. And that's what I've done that throughout my life. And it's been very, very beneficial for me. Peru, what's going on? Thank you for joining us. Let's see. What other questions do we have? Yeah, I got to do a new feeding time video. It's either going to be Cafe No Fur or Garden Grill this week. Ian, how often do I live stream on here? It's typically around this time. It was a little bit more. We've been down this week. It's been only twice this week. I try to at least get 2 or 3 shows in a week, though, always around this time. And I know a lot of people, they're not getting the DMs or the notifications. And again, YouTube is part of the deal with everything. For my subscriber count, this is it's they've got me on that Twitter impression thing as well, and it sucks, but it is what it is. We've got thank you. We have a new Rybacker, Little Weasel, I believe, or just a super chat. And then I believe I missed another super chat here. Starbucks Fund coming in hot. Where'd that super chat? There it is. Rocky 01542. I remember you sometimes using the spear and jackhammer for a while. Did you think a match with Goldberg was possible, or was it ever discussed? No, and that was by used for a little while. That might have only been like a couple matches, 2 or 3 matches tops. I know I used a jackhammer on Kofi on like main event, and that was when I was a heel and mocking the crowd on the Goldberg chants with that. The spear, I don't know if I think I only did one spear, and that was against the Shield, if I'm not mistaken. And that was done on purpose to manipulate the crowd because they were doing the Goldberg chants. And I believe did it and then went right into Feed Me More chants, and they switched them right over. And I just laughed because they were so easy. They keep them making noise regardless, right? And that was just my way of showing, yeah, people are going to make noise for me regardless on that. I'm trying to think, but there was never any. I was told he was never going to come back, and never to bring him up, and never to acknowledge the chance and anything. And that's why I said when I left, I really firmly believe with everything that happened. This is going by the things that I was told that, and I talked about it before. It was, and this is how they operate. It was with everything going on with me. I thought there was a reason why they brought him back, and the timing of that they did all that. That the year that I left, they brought him back. It was no coincidence on that with any of that. So it is what it is. I'm happy for him. I have nothing bad to say about him. Mike S., thank you very much. Always great advice, Ryback. Thank you. And thank you for listening. And I greatly appreciate the love and support. The goal is I am going back to wrestling. I'm just got a little more work to do on this scar tissue on the shoulder. I've been eventually the goal will be to get on the Joe Rogan podcast when I am back and have an in-depth discussion on everything that I've encountered and gone through on a major platform to put all of this to an end. And that is the goal. And I firmly believe that that opportunity will come up when the time is right. I got to get back, and it's going to take care of itself. And it's what I've been able to do. And I've been very blessed. I needed a 5-disc fusion and shoulder replacement at 34. Nobody's ever reversed that and come back from it. I've had 19 stem cell procedures. My back is 100% and my shoulder's damn near there. We've just got to get the scapula a little more free. And then once that happens, it's game time. And just imagine having one of those problems. And I chose, and I talked about it, I chose to leave. They were injecting me with drugs, cortisone, which caused all my shoulder problems on that, and Toradol, that was just covering my pain nightly. Rather than being hooked on pain pills, and then a lot of guys do steroids to cover up their atrophy in their bodies. I chose not to do that. I just dealt with I had atrophy all on my right side, my right leg and my right lat, shoulder, and arm. I just dealt with it, but I stayed positive. I kept training every day, and I knew I had to try to fix myself. Otherwise, I would have been another sad wrestling case of a beaten down, broken down body, addicted to drugs, and then die young. Instead, I made health my number one priority, which health has always been a number one priority for me. But I went all in on learning everything I could here to become as healthy as possible and take control of my life based off what the people that have come before us in wrestling and learning from the mistakes or the life, and some of them just the way things were. And that's why I learned about business and things. I cannot be reliant on wrestling. Otherwise, I will die young. And there's going to be a lot more guys that die young, I promise you, because they've relied on the business solely. And it breaks you down. And a lot of problems come when they leave with that. And there's a lot of bad habits that get picked up in that. And I smart enough and I have enough common sense to see, I don't want that for myself. And I've been very blessed to been given it all back and in a very good position in my life to go back and do what I love and enjoy, and never let that ever happen again. But the goal is to go back. I would be doing this to get my health back regardless, but I've always said the goal is to go back. No, everything will be, I believe my style will be exactly the same. I'm not going to be doing the backpack stunner or anything where I'm doing any compressed moves landing on my ass. Ass bumps are the worst thing a wrestler can do. You are asking for severe injuries at some point doing that because the energy can only transfer up and it compresses the disc. And it is not good. And I see guys do it and I cringe, but I did it for years. And I cringe looking back. I did it with guys weight on my back, 200-something pound guys every night. And I thought I was indestructible. And that's been a mistake. And I say indestructible in the sense that I just think it's going to be okay. and it wasn't. So, but and I do anticipate including, because this was something I wanted to do in WWE. They did not want me, flat out did not want me doing more submissions or in a more technical style. And I think that stuff's all so easy. This is it, but there's a way to do it and still be a big guy, and there's a way to wrestle and incorporate that. I'm a big fan of the power hybrid style with that. But I am a fan. Like, I love the technical stuff at the right times and place when you could really add that in certain submissions and whatnot. So I look forward to being able to add a little bit of that in. And it's going to be, I've been out of the ring for a bit now. And so, but lucky I've kept my conditioning and training very hard. I think that the time of coming back is going to be very short, of feeling really, really comfortable in the ring. And I've come back from a long injury before and was better than ever with that. And I think it's just going to be a matter of getting back in there and making sure I'm ready, and then start incorporating things as the matches go along, and get my brain really, really working again. And because it is having, that wrestler mindset and getting in there, and you just go one match at a time though. And that's all I do. I go, just wait, shoulders number one priority, get that taken care of. And then we'll focus on what's the next step. I know what it is, but actually executing that, and then, okay, what's the next step from there? Let's go. And then just going one day at a time and not looking ahead or anything. And it's going to be okay, because I have the confidence. I've done it already. So, and this will be no different. I'm not in pain anymore. I just got to get the shoulder to where I've got the full range and the mechanics of the shoulder, so that I could train heavy, and I want my life that I had, and I could do all the cool power moves that a lot of guys can't do. And I think it's going to be really, really, really cool and exciting. I think there's going to be a new version of Meat on the Table beyond Meat on the Table, or Feeding Time. I don't know what the Beyond Meat company. I got to see what the deal with that is, because that may not be able to use the actual name Beyond Meat on the Table as far as to market something. But prepare, don't compare. You know my quotes well, PJ the Ripper. I've never had kidney stones, no. Yeah, I like what Tony Khan is doing with AEW. I thought what he did also was very smart on saying they look forward to beating SmackDown in the ratings this upcoming week with Rampage, where there's the deal where part of the show is airing during their show. Because what it does is, now it puts massive attention that these two shows are essentially competing, even though WWE can say whatever. And if Tony doesn't acknowledge that, that's not nearly as big of a story as him saying, "Oh, we look forward to beating WWE." He is very smart to do that, because what do you think everybody's talking about this week on all the shows? Those comments, right? So what is those? It now makes more people aware, where I believe more people are going to watch. I think Rampage is going to beat them, possibly. I think it gives them the best chance to beat them in that during that head-to-head portion of the show, because he made those comments. Thank you very much, Fabrice. Ryback rules. Have a coffee on me. Thank you, my friend. Greatly appreciated. Thank you very much. We talked about the Fury fight just a little bit ago. Let's see what else. TikTok. Thank you, everyone on TikTok. We got any good questions on TikTok? It is only it's early here, and I'm in Las Vegas. We do have a new prison ship video for you Ruffles lovers over on TikTok. Subscribe to Ryback TV on YouTube. Turn notifications on. You've got multiple chip videos to sink your. I don't know what they can't say. Sink your teeth into for your listening pleasure. Walter, thank you very much. I think you'd be much appreciated over there. You definitely be a positive influence in the back. Thank you, Walter. Hope you're doing well, buddy. No, I would not. Would I ever start a lawsuit if someone uses profanity or rude comments towards you? Do you know how many lawsuits I would have to file? Jeez. No. Have I ever trained any Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu? Or do I ever train any martial arts? I did the Jiu-Jitsu, Muay Thai, and boxing. I did boxing here. It was pretty much a weekly thing for probably a few years. And then right when my shoulder, this was at the end, I did Jiu-Jitsu. I don't even know if that was 8 months, 6 months. And Muay Thai sprinkled in because that was at the boxing facility. I had to stop all of that with my shoulder, and it was something I enjoy that, and I do look forward to doing that again. I was going very, very hard and I was running red. And I look back and that while wrestling, doing a lot of that, and it was, but it's also doing being able to find a schedule of doing it just for personal enjoyment and self-development on that. I think it's very beneficial. Also, though, the jiu-jitsu, you have to be very careful. I know a lot of people that get really, really hurt doing that, and they get hurt because rolling with people that you got to make sure you've got a good place you go to. You just got to be careful. Like it is. There could be you can get private sessions and things, which would be absolutely ideal, or having a class where you're paired with the right people that everyone's in there to learn and get better. Because when you give your body to people and doing different things, you got to be very, you got to be careful. Now I keep saying freaking jacked after my workouts. Yeah, it's pretty addictive. Freaking jacked. Good to see all of you. Yeah, Umer, moringa is definitely an ingredient that I want to look into getting into the supplements. TikTok, any other good comments? The flavor of the Wake Up Unlimited Energy. I go all three of them. I cycle through the three flavors, but I'm on green apple right now. I'm actually going to order a mango here soon. Appreciate all the love and support. Barry asked, what vegan places do I recommend in Vegas? The Modern Vegan, Cafe No Fur, Garden Grill, Chef Kenny's, and Veggie House. So those are the ones that I would, in however long you're here, at least in whatever ones you want to go to, but those ones off the top of my head you'll be very happy with. And then Amazing Thai, which is up more north. Amazing Thai has regular options and the amazing vegan options. Their Mongolian beef and orange chicken you wouldn't even know you're eating vegan food. It's unreal. Jeremy asks, if I could clone myself and clone yourself with Skip Sheffield, do you think you could beat him? Best out of 3 falls in a steel cage with a no-holds-barred twist. Yes. Yes, I do. I will be returning to wrestling as Ryback. It is my legal name, and I am going to be winning the trademark. I own the rights to the big guy and Feed Me More because I created all of it prior to WWE, as I did Ryback. That is why I'm being awarded it. And that will conclude next year. Rocky asks, do I have a favorite traditional British dish? I haven't. No, I don't know. I remember, always one of the things I used to really like over there was the baked beans in the morning. And that was before I even went vegan. I remember always WWE, the catering, they always had baked beans in the morning, and I always got a big serving of baked beans. So that was always, because they never had beans for breakfast. And that was always one of the things I looked forward to, getting up early before I take the shuttle to go work out, go get a big breakfast. I'd sip on some coffee or some pre-workout, and the baked beans. It's my favorite British dish. Yeah, Walter, I don't know when I'm going to be doing another feeding time in a questionable area. That is, I'll have to go downtown and find a parking spot in a certain area and see. But yeah, that's it's inevitable. I will eventually be in a bad area to do another feeding time. If I want to form a tag team, who would be my partner? Curtis Axel's my partner for life. Ryback for life. What other questions do we have? TikTok. We should hit 2 million this week on TikTok. Now we just have the Great Khali is ahead of me in The Rock. Great Khali has the entire country of India behind him, though. And he's got like 8 or 9 million on there, 7, 8 or 9 million. And then The Rock is like The Rock. So we're a ways off on that. I'm going to definitely get back to TV to ever have a possibility of catching up with that and fix the social media suppression. Tolerant, tyrant, rational, national is thought, crimin, something. Super Chat says, are you joining AEW? I'm not talking about anything I'm doing as far as company-wise, guys. You shouldn't have quit WWE. Some guy named Roman Reigns is now running it with other animals. Much love from India. Thank you very much. Am I excited for the future with robots? Yeah, we'll see what happens. A lot of interesting things going on in the world. Maybe they don't change as much as we think, even though there's stuff going on. Maybe we realize that there is a limit to how far we should go with artificial intelligence. If not, it's going to be Black Mirror, totally microchipped and like implanting skills and thoughts and everything else, going on vacations inside our own head, like Total Recall. Like they will eventually be able to do stuff if they already can't. But I think there'll be, I don't know. It's crazy. I just go one day at a time. I go, let's just go one day at a time. I'm cool with electric cars. I think we have to do a lot of things that are good for the planet, good for animals, good for us, and capitalism for good, and understand that really specifically the last 100 years, give or take, a lot of capitalism for bad is why we are in the position we are in. And it's, self-development and knowledge is power. money is freedom. Money gives us choices, and but there's a lot that needs to be done overall. But what else do we have going on? Amanda says, hi. I was wondering if we are related. My dad's name is Mike Reeves Jr. He's from Trona, Ridgecrest, and he has always said we were related. I'm mega nervous. Yeah, that would probably be my Uncle Mike on my dad's side. So I'm positive if your dad's name is Michael Reeves from Trona, where my dad is from, that is Big Mike was what everyone called him when I was younger. So we probably are related. I hope you're well. I'm sure there's a lot of cousins in California and multiple other places. Yeah, we've shell shocked him out of here. I don't know how he got back. Some of these people have accounts where they're able to keep going. Why don't you twerk on TikTok? Have you thought about making twerk videos? No, I've not had to do any of that stuff on TikTok to gain my following. Nobody has to. You don't have to do it. You could just be yourself. TikTok is a platform like Instagram, and I think some adults think they got to get on there and be stupid, and then no, you can just if you want to do that, great. You don't have to. I put my motivational content, my funny content, my supplement content, and everything in between. So I don't know. Maybe I'd have 10 million followers though if I was doing twerk videos. I don't know, but I wouldn't feel good about myself because I wouldn't be being me. Your wife loves you taking the big guy testosterone booster, no doubt. It's the best one out there by a long shot. It is a true testosterone libido booster, blood test proven. I always laugh if somebody will be like, "Oh, you sell a test booster, you're a BSer, you're a snake oil salesman." I'm like, take it for 3 months and go get blood work, and then you could send me an apology. Better yet, just feel how you feel on it. Also, if you have a girlfriend or you hire prostitutes, whatever it is you do, Jeffrey, and thank me, and then you'll realize that it's not like everything else. I remember doing that show in Scotland with Grado. That was a fun time. I was really hurt. He was awesome, man. He was such a pleasure to wrestle and be around. Great guy. I hope he's doing well. And that was towards my last year, I think, when I knew I had to stop. And but we had some fun matches in that period. Thank you. Yeah, the Ruffles meme stuff. I have people here, like I told you guys, a girl that one of the Starbucks workers, she goes to me. She knows me from me going there all the time and as a wrestler. She knew me from wrestling, and she goes. One of her friends sent her the chip eating meme. She goes, "Oh my God, that's Ryback," and the guy goes, "Who?" And she goes, Ryback, the wrestler. And he just knew me as the chips guy on that. But she goes, congratulations. That's like a big deal. And I go, yeah, no, it's pretty cool. But there's other people that think being a meme is like a horrible thing. I'm like, no, it's a great thing. People that make memes of famous people with that. Now, there's different levels of memes and that. But I go, a meme eating chips, that's only going to land me an endorsement deal at some point. And once I go back to TV, it's going to lead to even more different things on as far as attention and exposure on top of ad revenue and supplement sales and things like that. it's just it's a numbers game, especially over time with that. So I think that that would be much higher if the stuff wasn't going on with the account that's going on with my social media stuff. But I'll take anything I can get. Egypt, what's going on? All right, guys, we're at the hour mark. I got to get some more work done. I got to take the dogs out. I got to do more softball stuff with my scar tissue on my shoulder, and make my final meal coming up pretty soon tonight with everything. As always, Feed Me More Nutrition. If you want to show your love and support, the best supplements on the planet, feedmemore.com on all of that, guys. Save 20%. Discount code Ryback Show 20. I hope you have a good evening. Enjoy a little pro football if you're watching some football on all that. And I will hopefully be able to be back tomorrow, if not Tuesday, for another Ryback Show live. Have a great evening. Stay hungry. Feed me more.